When the Sorcerer Supreme used his third eye to peek into the dark multiverse, he made an absolute catastrophic mistake.
He thought he could control the forbidden magic, but instead he accidentally ripped open a massive fiery portal to hell.
Deep inside his ancient magical library, the powerful wizard floated high above the ground in a deep, silent meditation. He was searching for ancient knowledge hidden entirely between dimensions. But the dark magic began to corrupt his spell.
Suddenly, a glowing red third eye ripped open right on his forehead. The massive ancient room violently began to tremble.
The ancient floating books crashed down heavily onto the wooden floor. The magical protections of the room were failing.
He frantically tried to close the glowing red eye, but the dark magic was far too strong. A tear in reality formed now.
A jagged black crack appeared violently in the middle of the air. It began glowing with an extremely hot, evil red heat.
He realized with absolute horror exactly what he had done. The sorcerer had bridged a direct connection to the underworld. He instantly summoned glowing orange magical shields around his hands. He pushed back against the violently expanding rift.
But the terrifying portal ripped entirely open. A massive wave of pure, blistering hellfire blasted into the dark library.
Through the violent flames, a twisted landscape of pure nightmare became visible. A dark realm of endless pain and fire.
The red eye on his forehead pulsed with agonizing, sharp pain. It was being powerfully drawn to the dark energy of hell.
Suddenly, terrifying glowing eyes appeared deep inside the dark smoke. Horrible creatures were trying to escape the realm.
Twisted shadow demons crawled violently through the portal. The wizard fired extremely bright blasts of pure orange magic. The orange magic sliced entirely through the invading shadow monsters. They evaporated instantly into thick, black smoke. He fought them off with incredible speed, but the portal was growing constantly. The tear in reality was destabilizing. The massive, intricate glass window behind him began to visibly crack under the immense, crushing pressure of the dark rift. If he could not seal the breach in the next few minutes, the entire planet would be consumed by an ocean of demonic fire.
He combined his hands to cast a supreme sealing spell. A massive golden mandala formed in the air to block the entrance. Just as the golden magic began to aggressively close the portal, a colossal, terrifying black hand reached completely out. The giant black hand gripped the edges of the reality tier. It violently crushed the golden magical shield into tiny dust. A deafening, terrifying roar echoed through the entire library building. It was a sound that shook the sorcerer to his core. The ultimate ruler of the underworld had finally noticed the open door. The terrifying Demon King was coming through now. A towering, monstrous figure slowly stepped through the raging hellfire. Charcoal black skin cracked with internal lava. The Demon King spread his giant, terrifying bat-like wings. He looked down at the human wizard with a deeply evil smirk. The monster spoke in a voice that sounded like grinding rocks. He mockingly thanked the wizard for opening the front door.
The sorcerer refused to back down entirely. He summoned a magical burning whip and aggressively lashed out at the monster.
The bright orange whip wrapped tightly around the monster's giant horn. The wizard pulled violently with all of his might. But the massive Demon King barely even flinched. He aggressively yanked the magical whip, pulling the wizard right to him. The towering monster grabbed the wizard tightly by the throat. He lifted the hero completely off the wooden library floor.
The wizard gasped for air as the monster's burning hot hands seared his neck. He was rapidly losing all of his strength.
The Demon King stared deeply into the wizard's glowing red third eye. The monster laughed at the corrupted dark magic.
He told the sorcerer that using forbidden dark magic always comes with a terrible price. And now, the debt was fully due. But the monster severely underestimated the Supreme Wizard's incredible willpower. The hero was not defeated just quite yet.
The wizard aggressively channeled all of his remaining magical energy directly into the red third eye on his forehead now.
The third eye suddenly flared with a blinding, intensely violent crimson light. The raw power was absolutely overwhelming.
A massive, concentrated beam of pure red magical energy blasted directly out of the eye. It hit the monster in the chest. The terrifying Demon King roared in absolute agony. He completely dropped the sorcerer and stumbled heavily backward now.
The wizard landed heavily on his feet and instantly cast a massive reversal spell. The glowing orange magic symbol spun. He violently pushed his glowing hands fully forward. A tidal wave of pure golden magical energy crashed into the monster.
The intense golden magic aggressively forced the giant Demon King backward into the fiery portal, banishing him to hell.
With the massive monster finally pushed back inside, the wizard focused entirely on the jagged, glowing tear in reality. He screamed in absolute agony as the third eye drained his life force. He used the dark power to violently sew the rift. The jagged, glowing crack in the air slowly began to close. The terrifying sound of raging hellfire was finally silenced. With one final, massive burst of golden energy, the terrifying portal snapped completely shut. The dark room went silent. The Supreme Wizard collapsed heavily onto his knees. The glowing red third eye on his forehead slowly closed and vanished. He had saved the entire world from a demonic invasion, but he knew the dark magic would permanently haunt his weary soul.
Forbidden magic always demands a massive, heavy toll. If you loved this dark superhero adventure, subscribe for more.